But I think connecting them together will be easier done right here. And for that, I got, so this is 14 gauge wire. Here, I got 20 feet of each, red and black. So I don't need much here. I'll probably cut something like that so there's a little bit of extra, and then we'll splice them together and put them underneath. And try to make sure they're as close to the same as possible, same length. There should be plenty, huh?
Yeah.
Right there. So this, like I said, is what I say, 14 gauge wire.
Yeah.
I got my splitters here. So let's take a little piece off of here. Probably more than what we need, but didn't give me much to work with on this, so hopefully we don't need much to work with. Not sure exactly what gauge wire this is. Strip this out a little. Then you have these wire connectors. They're sliding off the thing. I believe we can use this size. Yeah, the one probably. So these are 10 to 22 gauge wire. So it's just a matter of picking which one is going to work for both the wires that we have. This wire here is a bit thicker than the other wire, but it should both work in here.
Looks like it's all bunched up.
Their job anyway. Let's get the other one in there. So we had to cut the video just because it is almost 90 degrees out here, and it's kind of tough to try and record and hold an umbrella over ourselves to be a free little shade and do the connections. Anyway, so we got the two lights connected. So we just use these heat wrap crimped connectors. I don't know, whatever that technical name is for them. So you got the negative and the positive, and the negative and the positive over there. So next step is we're going to pop the hood, and these are going to go under the hood. So all you'll see is a piece of this wire hanging out, and then we're going to splice into these and then run them to the battery. We're going to ground it. So we're going to splice into the ground wire here, the black wire, and we're going to take that and just bring it right over to the battery. It's going to be the easiest thing. I mean, we're not going to go that. We're going to come down into the channel here. So let's do this. Try to be all proper like. I'll bring it here, and we'll kind of splice it in right here. and then we'll feed that however and cut it. I'm going to be using these, I don't know what the technical term for them is, splicers, so I'm going to say the blue ones. This is, when I say 14 gauge, yeah, so the blue is for 18 to 14 gauge, or 14 to 18, however you want to look at it. So this kind of just clamps onto the wire, and then you get one of the other ends, the blue one as well. Get a close-up shot of that while I strip this wire. So you put that end on, and then it pretty much just slides right into here and makes the connection. So now you're spliced into the wire. This is a 14 gauge. And now that's on there, crimped in nice and tight. So you just plug this into here. And now you're spliced into the negative cable. So we're going to take the other end of that and figure out how much we need, get it routed in the way we want. I'll probably attach it to this bunch of wires and then right down to the negative connection. So for the other end of this, we're going to put a different connector on, which I believe is around here somewhere. Alright, so we're going to put one of these loop ones on. Alright, so again, we're spliced in here. I fed the wire down here to this little channel. And I got enough slack here because we're gonna bring it down this way with zip ties and then connect right to the negative post. So we're gonna go ahead and put one of these on, and then it's gonna go right over the battery. Well, we gotta take the battery cable off, put this on underneath it. Get nice and tight. Not going to go anywhere. So once everything is done and tested, we'll make this all nice and neat with some heat shrink or not duct tape, but electrical tape. So that's going to go on here. It's not connected yet. Then the next step is we're going to splice into the red wire, the positive wire. So this has to go to the dashboard, and then we'll have one coming from the dashboard back to the battery, positive as well. We went ahead and snaked the wire, the first wire, into the dashboard area. So as before, I mentioned early in the video, this tube here holds all the switch wires, and they all go underneath the hood and out through the firewall into the engine compartment. So we snaked one wire through, so this is going to be the wire that goes to the battery. So this is going to be the incoming power, and it's going to go on the switch, which now I don't know what I did with the switch. It's on the floor. So it's going to go on here. And then we're going to bring another wire over positive as well, which is the lights, and that's going to go on this one. So we're going to have the lights, the power, and then this is going to be a ground, which we're just going to ground here in the front. So now we got this. We're going to strip the end off of here, plug it into this switch, and then we're going to go do the other end underneath the hood and connect it to the battery. So we'll have 3 all together.
This is a 14 gauge. That one might be too small. You go? It's in there. Okay. It's in the. Well, yeah, the packaging said this was a 14 gauge, 14 to 16 connector. So again, we're matching up colors here on the crimpers. Blue, the blue, red, the red, yellow, yellow. Red's in the red, or the yellow.
Give it a nice tug. And I'll put that on here. I believe it's going to be the first one. Alright, so we fed the positive wire from the dash up here to the battery area. So in between the battery and the switch, we're going to put this fuse. So we got this off of Amazon as well. This is a 40 amp fuse. It's probably way more than we need, but it's in there. I might switch it out later for like a 15 or something. Waterproof. So we're going to strip the ends off, connect it to here, and then onto the battery.
So we're going to use the yellow one, so that's all the way in. It's in a hole though. Okay. So we'll find out. And we'll crimp it. Get two of one hand. Hold on. Right there. So then we gotta strip this end. This should fit in there. As far as it's going to go, because you crimp the middle of it. I did? Crimp the end. Would you have the crimper? I can't even go on it. Yeah.
Like so. And on this end, we're going to put another circle connection. And these are all technical terms, by the way. Again, if we haven't said it before, we're not professionals. We're figuring this out as we go, and we're just showing you how we do it. Right or wrong, this is how we do it. This one, I believe.
Camera catching me doing this over here. Should I bring it in more?
Alright, so now we have the positive and negative. And we need to do one more positive. So this one goes to the dash. And then we need to go from this positive wire to the dash as well. We've gone ahead and snaked the light wire, the light positive wire, into the through the firewall into the dashboard area. And now we're gonna splice it into the positive on the lights, like we did over here on the negative. First, I'm gonna feed it through here. Get it routed so it's out of the way. And since the last time we tried this, the wire didn't go through without the snake.
So we're just going to snake it through to make sure it goes properly. You get it locked into place. Give it a little extra.
So now the lights are connected to the button, or the on-off button on the dash, or in the dash area. It's not all put together with this wire. So then we have the negative from the lights spliced in, and we're going to connect it to the negative on the battery. And then we have the positive, the power wire, spliced in with a fuse, goes into the dash, and then we'll connect this to the battery as well. Now let's get these things powered up. So we're gonna move this out of the way, the air intake, so we can get to the battery. So well, apparently I've already loosened those. Talk about preparing. So we're just gonna take the nut off the top. And go ahead and add the negative and put the nut back on. So make sure that's nice and tight. And we'll do the same thing over here. And put this on here. Make sure that's nice and tight. Alright, so in theory, that should work right now. So let's put the hood down.
Even without the truck battery?
Yep, because they're connected directly to this battery. All right, there we go. We have two lights. So that's 24,000 lumens together, 12,000 each. Not bad for a couple of amateurs.
Sorry about the shaky camera, guys. I'm trying not to break my neck here. I'm holding an umbrella because the sun is unbearable. But even in the bright sunlight.
You know, they're not catching any of your audio. So the light here, or the switch here, has a little light on it too. So when they're on, the little light on the switch is on. So why don't you go ahead and say what you were just saying, because I have the microphone and I was in the truck.
I was just saying that the camera is kind of shaky because I'm trying to hold this umbrella in this unbearable sun, but even with the sun beating down on us, you can see how bright they are. It looks awesome.
Can't wait to see them at night. We'll come out and take a little bit of video. All right, so the finishing steps are going to be to clean it up. Oh wait, we still have to install the switch in the dashboard.
Yeah, that's going to be the next step.